Welcome back. It's really important to know how to serve each child, and so we're going to talk about meal pattern charts. It's a critical part of the CACFP. So let's take a deeper look into how to serve a child the correct portions. We must use correct meal pattern charts in order to accurately serve each child. There are 3 different charts. There's one for breakfast, one for lunches and suppers, and then one for all of the snacks. One thing we must understand is the difference between fluid ounces and ounces by weight. The English language uses the same word, but it means 2 different things. Ounces by weight is used when we cannot measure in a scoop. Think of a piece of cheese or a slice of bread. Fluid ounces would be used when an item can be measured in a cup or a scoop, like a cup of milk or a scoop of fruit cocktail. Remember, fluid ounces and ounces by weight are not the same thing and they are not interchangeable. When serving food items like milk, fruits, and vegetables, you would always use fluid ounce measurements. But when serving grains and meats, you might have to serve it in fluid ounces or it might be by weight. For example, if I were to serve oatmeal, I would have to scoop that up and that would be fluid ounces, but a piece of bread must be served by looking at the weight. Each of the charts is divided across the top by age groups and down the side by food items. Let's look at one example from each of the charts. Here's an example of the breakfast meal pattern chart. Let's say that we're going to serve a 3-year-old oatmeal. I would go down the side and look for the grain component and then move over to the 3 to 5-year-old group and see that my serving size is 1/4 of a cup. Now let's look at the lunch and supper meal pattern chart. In this case, I'm going to serve a school-age child and I'm trying to figure out how much fruit and vegetable to serve. So I'm going to go down to the fruit section and go all the way over to the school-age category. And my fruit category is 1/4 of a cup, which is the same as a 2-ounce scoop. And the vegetable is 1/2 a cup or the same as a 4-ounce scoop. Lastly, let's take a look at the snack chart. Here we're going to see how much to serve a 1-year-old milk. So I'm going to look at the first category, which is milk, and go over to the 1 and 2-year-old section, and I can see that I need to give them at least 1/2 a cup or 4 fluid ounces. So be sure to use measuring utensils in order to make sure that you're preparing their plates correctly. An example could be using measuring cups from the store, or there's a thing called spoodles, and they are listed with ounces on there, and they're helpful as well. Another thing you could do for the milk is to pour milk into a cup and draw a line where that milk goes to. And for example, have the 1/2 a cup mark and then the 6-ounce mark and the 8-ounce mark, and then your teachers will know where to pour the milk. So more than anything, make sure that you're using something to measure when you're preparing the plates for the children so that we can be sure they're each getting the correct portion.